Every one of the Coromandel's 30 towns has been cut off at some point in the past 24 hours, with many still isolated.
The eye of Cyclone Gabrielle hit the coastal towns overnight at the same time as high tide. Ashley Yates reports from Whitianga.
As dawn broke in Coromandel, the clean-up began.
There's a lot of water down the back which we're proceeding to try and get pumped out.
Everyone chipping in where they could.
We're going to give them a stock of ice to keep their meat and stuff cold for their fridges and freezers.
The Coromandel Peninsula was pummeled yesterday and into the night. More than 400 millimetres of rain fell, and there were gale force winds in excess of 130 kilometres an hour.
Debris.
In Whitianga, it was a sleepless night for many as high tide coincided with Cyclone Gabrielle's arrival.
It's 2 a.m, it's high tide. The ocean has lapped onto sections of this coastal road and into properties. However, it doesn't appear to be as bad as it was during high tide yesterday afternoon.
But it did wipe out power to most of the area. This afternoon, more than 12,000 homes and businesses were still not connected, and the road network was a similar story.
Effectively, the Coromandel today is shut. There's no highway network that is completely open.
The closures cutting off towns across the peninsula, a warning to drive only if you must.
You've got to keep an eye out for flooding, small slips, trees, people on the other side of the road because they're avoiding something to get around it.
The Coromandel is absolutely saturated to the core. We're expecting and we are going to get some substantial land movement.
Those movements changing the landscape of towns as locals survey the place they call home. Ashley Yates, News Hub.
And that state of emergency has seen small communities all over the North Island pulling together.
None more so than in the normally carefree holiday spot of Whangamata, as Karen Rutherford reports.
Richard Abraham's battling cancer. He was due back in hospital yesterday. Now he and wife Nora are battling the wrath of Gabrielle after their evacuation last night.
I let the fire brigade in. I opened the door and my God, I just about got blown over. I really, honestly, just about got blown over. It's just horrendous.
But today, kindness came from every corner. Cut off from the outside world, Whangamata locals had each other and a neighbour's pump working overtime.
They're great, yes, everyone is terrific. Oh, there goes the pump. That's an exciting noise.
Well, I was just lucky enough to have a pump at my place. It's supposed to be up in the orchard.
Stu Braithwaite knows 94-year-old Elva Brockle has a moat round her house, but she insists she has food, she's comfortable, and she knows there are others in need.
Yeah, we got another house just around the corner that's in a hell of a state, you know. The water's nearly up to your knees.
For firefighters, last night was a hellish few hours on the tools.
Huge, big green flash, like a lightning flash, that we heard power lines arcing together. You could actually hear the arcing of them touching together.
Until late morning, Whangamata's brigade had to rely on those in need, calling for help the old-fashioned way, by sending someone to knock on the station door.
We lost all internet and that cell phone tower went down. So, yeah, even our copper lines, our old forms of communication have gone.
But community spirit is up. Even uninhabited holiday homes in this popular hotspot have Dad's Army on the job.
Wheeling wheelbarrows, wheelie bins, and now some gentleman just stopped and gave us a pump. And so, unfortunately, we're pumping it into the wastewater system because we've got nowhere else to put it.
And they're giving the shirt off their back to ensure their neighbours are safe.
That's about little New Zealand. It's still here.
And still finding a reason to smile through it all.